I'd like to say a big thank you to Jake, who flies the mothership. He's the reason this show sounds as good as it does. So, on behalf of the Sheik, on behalf of Stats, on behalf of Jake, we're going to leave you with a bit of wisdom from the desert. Take it away, Sheik.
Enjoy the winters, everyone.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Coming right up, another fun varsity sports show.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hey, this is Sophie, and you're listening to my dad, Vince. Dad, you owe me $20 now.
Hi, kids. This is DJ Soulman from the Funk Junkies, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show with my man, Vince Delicio. And what's your last name?
It's Delicio.
Okay, that's right. That's what I thought. Yeah, right.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. My name is Vince Delicio. I am joined by my co-host today. His name is Jason Goldie from the Cronkite School of Journalism, a very talented young man, and has done a lot of broadcasts. We're gonna be talking to you throughout, Jason. I'm excited because I got some great news this week. As you know, as you heard from the opening song, we are a big Van Halen show. We're big, and Sammy Hagar recently announced a tour where he's going to go on. He and his band called The Circle, which is Gus. You look to be about my age. I don't want to, we'll introduce you in a second, but I don't want to put you in a bad spot and say that because I'm old. I'm older than dirt. But he is putting together a band. You may recognize some of these names. Joe Satriani on guitar. Jason Bonham on drums. His dad was legendary, was long since passed away, but drummer for Led Zeppelin, John Bonham, and bassist Michael Anthony, who of course was one of the founders of Van Halen. They're going on tour next summer, 28 cities. Sammy Hagar is 76 years old, and they're going to go play all of the music from that era, from 86 to 96, when Sammy was the front man for the band. So I'm like pumped. They're coming to Phoenix August 20th. I am going to go out of my way. Now we're like a speck on the you know what of the universe, but I'm going to go out of my way to try to and promote the band coming, and hopefully maybe we can get Sammy Hagar on our show. I don't know, but I am like sky high about that. So I've been thinking about that all week. Anyway, this is a sports show. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show, ladies and gentlemen. We are out at Ability 360 this morning. It is an incredible place. This place, growing up in Phoenix, I'm a lifelong Phoenix native. This used to be the area where we're at, 52nd Street in Washington, right in that area. This used to be called Chaparral Speedway. It was like a race, like a little, race car place. And I used to go here with my friends, and we'd drive the little cars around the track. It was an amazing place. Down the street was Legend City, which is now Salt River Project. And so we're right in that neighborhood situated. But this is expansive. Guys, I'm sorry. Jason, I'm still, the whole Sammy Hagar thing. Jason, how you doing? Have you ever heard of Van Halen, Jason?
I have.
What do you think? You have a favorite song?
Not really.
No? Jump, Why Can't This Be Love? Panama?
I'd have to say Jump.
Jump, okay, that's a popular one. That song's almost 40 years old. Anyway, Jason, so you're doing great. You've been calling a lot of games for us. This season, you were the part of the broadcast team, you and Paul Schultz, for Corona del Sol football. How was that experience?
It is amazing.
Yeah, you had fun with it, huh?
I have a lot of chemistry with Paul.
Yeah. Well, you guys worked really well together. Paul was one of a handful of mentor broadcasters that we brought back to our show that interned with us last year, and I think Paul and you guys paired up. You did a great job. You had a chance to do some analysis. You did some camera work. You did a lot of play-by-play. Last night, you guys, Paul and you and Paul paired up again for what game? Where were you at?
Basha versus ALA Queen Creek.
How did that go?
It was probably the best game I've ever called.
No way. That big?
Yeah, and I've only been calling games for 8 months.
I know, but still, that's like a big game. I mean, that's a lot of games in there that you've called. Corona del Sol, you've been a part of the HOCOM Junior College Athletic Conference games, and last night you called an open quarterfinal, your first open quarterfinal. A lot of eyes, a lot of ears. There was even a documentarian there from AZ Central, Cheryl Evans, that has been following Basha all year. That was a tight game with ALA Queen Creek.
Yeah, the Patriots were down 17 points, but they managed to tie it up at 31. And then in the last minutes of the game, Basha scored a touchdown.
Okay. What was your favorite play of the game last night? Or the biggest play that you think?
The biggest play was the catch by Mason Aron.
Okay.
I also really liked that trick play on the opening second half kickoff.
Yeah, a little trickeration, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And describe the play.
So on the kickoff return, you got one guy on one side of the field. He throws a lateral all the way to the other side of the field with the other guy, Taylor Searle, who runs all the way to the end zone.
No kidding. Untouched.
Untouched.
Amazing. Well, that's exciting, and so we're not done yet on the season. We've got another week at least. We've got some games. We're going to be featuring some semifinal games. We've got games today, 3A semifinals as well. We've got an HJCAC Game of the Week, the season finale tonight. We're going to hear from Coach Doug Madoski. Aaron, I think we have Bennett Solomon on the line with us. Is Bennett there? Okay, not yet. So we're going to bring Bennett on, and he is our University of Florida intern who's been doing a Florida sports report for us all season. So we're going to hear from him. He's going to talk about. He's been reporting nationally on some big recruits in the state of Florida, and because there's a lot of implications, even on the schools out here, with what decisions these guys make and where they go to school. What I want to do is, before we bring Bennett on, I would like to bring Gus LaZear on, who's here with Ability 360. So Gus, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. Van Halen fan, Van Hagar, which one, Roth or Hagar?
I'm very Van Halen.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a David Lee Roth guy?
Yep. 1984, had the album. I think I'm a little younger than you. But
listen to this guy. Okay.
Always appreciate Eddie Van Halen. I play the guitar. So.
Well, physically, you look like you're about 30 years younger than me. You do radio. This is what you look like after a while. So anyway, yeah.
So I appreciate you guys being here. We got a big event this weekend. So.
He just glazed over that one. Okay, so tell us about some of the things going on here at Ability 360. First of all, let's back up. For people that have never heard of Ability 360, what is it?
So first and foremost, we're what's called a Center for Independent Living. We advocate for people with disabilities to live independently, empower them to have jobs and everything else under the sun to make sure that everyone has equal rights. We're very fortunate to have a campus here on Washington that houses 8 nonprofits that all serve the disability community, and that's in our main building. And then the building that you're in is our sports and fitness center. This building is 12 years old, built with purpose and intention to serve people with disabilities, and this weekend we have an adapted sports multi-sport tournament, so we're excited about that.
So with regard to this tournament, you guys do a lot of traveling as well. Like, what are some of the places and some of the events that you've participated in other cities?
So our wheelchair football team just wrapped up their season. They played in Tampa, DC, Tampa Bay. They played in Vegas and in Chicago.
Jason, you've been very involved here with Ability 360. What are some of the things that you've been doing here? And I mean, even, if there's a question or two you want to pitch to Gus about some of the things they do, by all means, go ahead.
So I've had the pleasure of doing some filming here at Ability 360 for my journalism classes at Cronkite. I've covered the Cardinals wheelchair football team and the Coyotes sled hockey team. But those aren't the only professional adaptive sports teams you have here at Ability 360. What are some of the others?
So they're amateur sports. We're trying to push to the professional level. A lot of our athletes have gone to the Paralympics as well. So playing rugby today, Joe Jackson will be on the court with, he recently went to Tokyo and got a silver medal in wheelchair rugby. And then also on our team is Scott Hogshead, a 3-time Paralympic athlete, winning gold medal in Beijing. We have an incredible wheelchair tennis program. Our wheelchair softball team is growing every week. We finished by going to the World Series in Chicago, but also played in a tournament in Kansas City. And then we have a league coming up in December to kind of get things going again. So we run sports, other sports like power soccer. We sponsor the sled hockey team. I know you guys are going to talk to Mike Smith later.
Yeah, I can't wait.
But they're their own organization. They do a great job, so we're happy to support them however we can.
Awesome. Wow. So rugby. So I went out on the court over there, and they told me that they're going to be doing some rugby out there. That's a hardwood floor.
It is. So wheelchair rugby is played on a court. There's 4 athletes on each team. It's what they usually say. It's like basketball, football, and bumper cars all rolled up into one. It's a full contact sport, and it's incredible to watch. It's a great sport.
I mean, how do they handle a scrum, with 4 people? I mean, do they come together? Do they lock horns? I mean, are they knocking each other over?
Yes and no. There's not a whole lot. There are some scrums. It's not with typical rugby. There's a lot more athletes on the court, or on the field rather. There's only 4, so it's a definite combination between football and basketball. And then there is hitting, and yes, they do flip over sometimes.
Do you guys get a little frustrated with that? Like, come on, guys, go easy on each other. I mean,
no, I just want my courts to be okay.
You're just more concerned about the courts. Well, we are so privileged, so honored. People want to get involved with Ability 360. What are you looking for in volunteers here?
Well, we use volunteers on a daily basis. We're also open as a gym. So we have a fitness center upstairs. We have 2,800 members. We have veteran programming, youth programming. So wherever your talents are, we can use you. So if you're a sports fan, you can help with tournaments like today. If you're a fitness person, you can get upstairs and help us in the fitness room. We need help behind the front desk. We have lifeguards. I mean, we use people wherever we can.
Website?
Ability360.org.
What are the hours here and days?
So during the week, we're open 6 in the morning to 7:30 at night, and then on Saturdays, 8 to 2. The tournament tomorrow on Sunday is only going to be, there's 2 games, one at 11 and one at 1. Our rugby team's going to take on the team down from Tucson. It'll be a sanctioned U.S. Wheelchair Rugby Association game.
Nice. You guys even refer to teams from there as the team from down there. You don't give a specific name. So we're a big ASU program as well. So
well said.
There we go. We have a Sun Devil with it, which, by the way, next week is Rivalry Week. Mm-hmm. We've got a special show next week. So,
is it up here or is it down there?
No, it's up here.
Oh,
yeah.
I hope they have gas money.
Listen to this. I like this guy. Gus LaZear is something else. So, Gus, real quickly, later in the show, we're going to be joined by Mike Smith. We're going to be joined by Tony Jackson. Give us a preview of what those guys do here.
So, Mike Smith, wheelchair softball team, wheelchair football team, and he plays on the sled hockey team. So he's going to chime in about that. He's also a great wheelchair tennis coach. We run our own program, and he has participated with that. And then Tony Jackson is our coach of our power soccer team.
Okay.
He's also just got back from Australia. He was a play-by-play caller for the World Cup power soccer tournament a couple weeks ago.
Nice. Okay, so we'll have those guys on later in the show. Gus LaZear, thank you so much for allowing us access, for allowing us to do the show. Guys, we're out at Ability 360. We'll be here till 10 o'clock. Come on out. Gus might even offer you a bagel. He did me earlier. I had to turn it down. The poundage is starting to, as you can tell, I'm starting to put on some weight. But anyway, thank you for your hospitality. Come on out. 5031 East Washington. We'll be here all morning. Great. They're going to have a food truck out here as well. Gus, thanks again.
Thank you.
All right. So, Jason, big show today. We got a bunch of guests. When we come back from the break, we're going to be joined by Brophy Broncos head football coach Jason Jewell. He is a mainstay on our program. They had a big win last night against Castile. They're advancing to the semifinals. We're going to hear from Coach Jewell, as we heard all season long from Coach Jewell, so you'll have a chance to pitch him some questions if you want. I'll talk to him as well. Later in the show, we got some other stuff. Coach Andy Litten from Horizon. Guys, don't go anywhere. Big show, Varsity Sports Show, a.k.a. the Big Bad Bear. Thanks for joining us. Stick around. Go Varsity. I got to explain what that means. I'll do it later.
James Out West brings NFL, NBA, MLB, and local sports talk to you Monday night starting at 7 on KDUS AM 1060 and the KDUS 1060 app.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AA-PAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbeterathletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind. Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Carving out time in your afternoon for the Doug Gottlieb Show right here on KDUS AM 1060, 100.7 HD2, and KDUS1060.com. Weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m.
This is the Broncos Football Report with Brophy Broncos head coach Jason Jewell on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. Vince Delicio out at Ability 360 with Jason Goldie. We just featured Gus LaZear, who coordinates programming here, and what an amazing place. I can't wait to talk to Mike Smith and Tony Jackson and ask them specifically about some of the teams and activities that they put on here and that they participate in. It is time for the Brophy Bronco Report, as we have had all season long, again today. Head football coach Jason Jewell. Coach Jewell, welcome to the program. Congrats on the big win last night.
No, man, thank you. To be honest, I don't even know what happened, Vince. It's just a big blur.
You guys were down 17-0. You scored 31 unanswered points. What exactly? Did you sleep last night?
No, not much. I mean, my heart's still pounding and racing. It was crazy. You know, we were down.
It's an amazing game.
Oh, it was nuts. So we were down 17-0, but we were having success moving the ball, just couldn't finish. And then, man, we ended up throwing 3 interceptions, but our kids didn't quit and got a little life. Castile snapped the ball over the punter's head and resulted in safety. And next thing you know, we're in business. And like the whole fourth quarter, man, I felt like it took 30 seconds. Everything just happened so fast. And I don't know that I've ever been a part of a game like that. It was just insane.
It is insane, but it really speaks volumes to what you've been building there with your staff. I know you tend to deflect a lot. That's all well and good, but it starts from the top. And, I mean, that is incredible. What exactly, so the catalyst for this? Now, you guys are down 17-0. Set this up for me. And there were a couple of big plays, some things, and then all of a sudden you guys are saying to yourselves, you know what? We are moving the ball. We got to finish, and we know we can do this. What was that aha moment that really set things going for you?
Yeah, when we scored, so after we got to safety, and then Cree Thomas had a big return to 45, and we ended up converting it into points and making it 17-9. At that point in time, I felt like we were going to win the football game. I felt really good about winning the game. And then a little bit of luck, we didn't want to kick to their return man, number 7, the dangerous returner, kicked a hard squib, and it bounced off one of their up men right back to us. It's like, there we go. I mean, everyone last night was like, oh, yeah, that was ballsy, coach, for that onside kick. I'm like, that wasn't an onside kick. That was luck, but it worked out.
Oh, man.
And then, actually we had Castile stopped us on downs and then had a face mask call and gave us a first down, and then we go down and score and get a 2-point and to tie it up. So,
wow.
Crazy. Again, I had to go back. Go to have dinner with the coaches last night after. I'm like, remind me what exactly happened. How did it happen? So it was just nuts.
Yeah. Pretty incredible. I'm joined by Jason Goldie here, who's been part of our broadcast team all season long, and he's actually interviewed you in the past, Coach. But he was he handled the broadcast duties for us out at Corona del Sol, and actually was part of a big call last night with one of the open quarterfinal games in Basha and ALA Queen Creek. Jason, you had a question more on the season for Coach Jewell. What's your question for him?
You've had a great season, 10-2, and now you're the top seed in the 6A tournament. How does that feel?
I mean, it feels amazing. What the difference a year makes. We were 3-8, and we had turned our stuff in. At this point in time last year, and now we're 10-2, and hopefully we can get 2 more weeks, out of this season. It's just, it feels phenomenal, and I'm just so happy for the kids, the amount of work they put in the off season. And I know every team out there works. And everybody works hard in the weight room and lifts and everything. But I just so proud, of the effort that they did give in this last year to set themselves up and be in this position.
Well, and to turn the corner from last year. Now, obviously, strength of schedule. I mean, you made the playoffs at 3-7. You scared some people getting into the postseason. Nobody wanted to draw, the Brophy card last year in that first round of the playoffs. You guys went in valiantly and really put on a show. This season, you more or less, after game 1, you held the pole position throughout. If you had to hand out game balls last night, who got them?
Oh, man. Really, I mean, one of the catalysts, too, is a kid that actually probably doesn't get a whole lot of recognition. It's one of our running backs, Edison Martinez Estrada. He recovered the squib, and then he had a huge kickoff tackle after that. So a kid that hasn't played a whole lot for us at running back, but made 2 huge plays, in the game. It was just give a shout-out to Eddie.
Aaron, I don't know if we lost Coach Jewell. Is he still there?
I can hear you.
Okay, Coach. Yep. Okay, thank you. So the other question I had for you is your opponent next week. You guys are hosting Red Mountain, and what can you tell us about them?
I mean, really, this is the 3rd year in a row we faced Red Mountain in the playoffs. They knocked us out in the quarters 2 years ago in 21, and then in that crazy game last year, we lost 45-38 after we were up 17-0 last year, in the first round. So Coach Enders does a good job. They're going to be tough. They're going to be physical, and they beat us in the past. And hopefully our kids are amped up and ready to go, and we'll see. I haven't watched a whole lot of film on them yet, so we'll see. But I know they're going to be tough and well-coached and play tough defense.
Awesome. Coach Jason Jewell, Brophy Broncos football, big win last night, advancing to the 6A semifinals. They'll be hosting Red Mountain Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, out at Central High School. Coach, congratulations, good luck, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving.
All right. Wow, Jason, big stuff. We're covering a lot of these teams. We've had Coach Jewell on all season. Steve Schaff, the SID, his longtime Valley residents, worked at a couple of schools, done a great job accommodating us and our broadcast team. So pretty incredible. Avi Singh and Lucas Metzner on the call last night did a great job for us all season, and Kobe Van Noort as well. Those guys rotated on calling the games out there for the Broncos. So, guys, we're going to go to some amazing content from our amazing broadcast and production team. And Aaron, take it away.
What's up? This is Ella Wolter Sanchez for the Varsity Sports Show with your Scottsdale Sport Report. With 3 of our SUSD high schools still in the playoff running as of November 16th, it continues to be an exciting football season. Speaking of exciting, 2 of SUSD's own were in the AZ Central's top 10 high school players of the week for week 13. And not only were 2 of our SUSD students featured, but they sit at number 1 and number 2. Ranked number 1, we have senior J.C. Dickerson from Saguaro. His number is 2, and Dickerson is a wide receiver and a kick returner. He is ranked 141st in Arizona, 27th in 6A, and 4th in 6A Northeast Valley. He leads his team in receiving yards per game with an average of 46 yards per game. On the year, JC has 368 receiving yards, 19 receptions, and 7 total touchdowns. He was also named the Max Preps Player of the Game last week for his performance on November 9th versus Queen Creek. He was a key part to Saguaro's 59-13 win on the 9th with 2 returned kickoffs for touchdowns and also a caught pass for a touchdown. It's obvious he was not only a key part of that game, but every game. In second, we have Brady Forrest, who was ranked number 2. His number is 6, and he is a senior from Arcadia. Forrest is a defensive back and a running back. He is ranked 439th nationally, 11th in Arizona, 3rd in Division 4A, 1st in 4A Desert Sky, and 11th in the Arizona Interscholastic Association. On the year, Brady has 1,163 rushing yards, 173 carries, 105 rushing yards per game, and 29 total touchdowns. Much like J.C. Dickerson, Brady Forrest was a key to Arcadia winning their first playoff game. He had 130 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns in Arcadia's 24-20 win over Coconino in the first round of the 4A playoffs. It's safe to say the stats for these 2 players speak for themselves. Both are outstanding players and the key to their teams going far these playoffs. So far, neither J.C. Dickerson or Brady Forrest are committed to any colleges for football, but I would keep an eye on these 2 in the playoffs and in the future. For the Varsity Sports Show, this is Ella Wolter Sanchez with your Scottsdale Sport Report, signing off.
As a person that has become a massive fan of what Arizona high school basketball is becoming, the season is just days away from starting, so I thought I would give you 3 teams that I think you should watch out for this year to possibly make a state championship run. Number 1, Sandra Day O'Connor. The Eagles finished just above 500 last year at 16-12. With a new addition in point guard Tavion Wilson and returning forward in Michael Simcoe, it could be time to treat them as real contenders. Number 2, St. Mary's. With a returning duo in Styles Phipps and Cash Jones, St. Mary's has also reloaded at the wing position with David Rodriguez and Cameron Williams. This is looking like one of the most talented teams in the last couple of years, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try and go for the 5th state title. Number 3, Notre Dame Prep. Anthony Batson looks to continue to show why he's one of the best in the state, with the supporting cast in Brennan Peterson, Bryce Quinnett, and Will Fiegels all looking like they've improved their game this summer. Notre Dame is definitely a team to watch out for. There are so many teams that could make potential runs to their Division State Championship as well as the Open Division Championship. We didn't even mention Perry or Sunny Slope or Liberty or even Desert Mountain with their young and upcoming team. I cannot wait to see what the talent in this state can do to put Arizona on the map as one of the best states in the country for high school basketball. It's going to be a great season, and it starts this upcoming week. So watch out and stay tuned for what's to come in this state's high school basketball scene this season. I'm Parker Gurash with the latest from the Varsity Sports Show.
SB Nation Radio is now Sports Map Radio, keeping sports content fresh and fun. Join us right here on KDUS AM 1060.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat. Hey guys, Vince here. I'd like to introduce you to my friend Eric Perry. He owns Eco Roofing Solutions. They're local and a big supporter of high school sports all over Arizona. Yes, they're statewide.
A little bit about me and Eco Roofing Solutions and what we're about. I'm a third generation roofer here in Arizona, and I've been doing this for 25 years.
Call Eric and his team at Eco Roofing Solutions, 480-695-7736, and they'll give you a fast, free, no-nonsense estimate. Tell them Vince sent you.
Hi Varsity sports fans, this is Shea Garrett. Make sure you stay tuned for our halftime where we break down different highlights from sports locally or otherwise. So plenty of entertainment and content coming your way if you stick around with us. What I personally think is cool about our halftime show is we cover different sports, maybe some you might not expect, and a variety of different content, of course, high school football, and maybe some professional stuff such as NFL highlights from the previous week.
Listener rewards for you with the KDUS 1060 app. Download today to hear all of the national and local shows you love. That's the KDUS 1060 app.
You are listening to The Husky Report with Horizon Husky football coach Andy Litten on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. Vince DeLisio and Jason Goldie out at Ability 360 in Phoenix. Jason, nice job with Coach Jewell. I mean, he didn't sound like he slept last night. I mean, Brophy had a big win, number one seed, but still, we're down 17-0, came back, battled back hard against a really good Castile team and came away with the win. What do you think is going through his head? Do you think he's pretty excited?
Yeah, you got Red Mountain next week.
Oh boy, another mountain they're going to have to climb, literally. Red Mountain. So, isn't that funny? That's pretty good. All right, so guys, talking about another game and going back and forth with a win and finally securing it on a rematch, we have Coach Andy Litten on the line with us from Horizon High School. Coach Litten, congratulations. Big win last night. Welcome to the show. How you feeling?
Thank you. I feel good, man. It's always nice after a win.
I bet. I mean, it was quite a chess match last night. We asked the same question of Coach Jewell out at Brophy. If you had to hand out game balls after last night's win, who would get them?
Our quarterback, Zach Jones, who found out that he was starting literally in the middle of our practice on Thursday, would give a game ball on offense. He did a great job managing the game and getting us where we needed to get to. And was very, very good, especially in the first half of getting the ball out. Threw 3 touchdowns in the first half and did a great job kind of managing the game. Defensively, Alex Ekholm, the pick six, he did a great job, man. I mean, that's a huge turnaround momentum swing for us in the second half.
Well, on a side note, and I got this information before last night's game. It actually made for some great talking points by our broadcast team. But one of your DBs, Presley Jones, Zach Jones, the quarterback, those guys are first cousins. Yeah. Presley's dad and Zach's uncle played on the Horizon team that won the championship in '94. I think I see some common links here going on, Coach. What can you say about that?
Well, I hope so. I mean, it's cool that they have, family members and they play on opposite sides. And Presley every once in a while goes over and plays wide receiver for us, and you can bet that the ball's going there when Zach's the quarterback. So
nice. Jason's got a question for you, Coach. Jason, go ahead.
So you're the number 3 seed, and next week you go on the road against Desert Edge. What do you think of that team?
I think they're a very, very well-coached team that has a bunch of just absolute athletes. And, Mark and Marcus do a really good job getting their kids prepared. And, they're actually a couple guys that I talk to almost weekly. And so I'm excited to be able to not only celebrate football, but do it against somebody that I really respect out there. And, our plan is to go out and play Horizon football and be fast, physical, and best teams can win.
It's interesting because there's very few coaches that I actually get a chance and have great conversations with. They'll come up to me at events and Marcus and Mark Carter, and they'll actually hug me. It's nice, it's refreshing. Coach, I owe you a hug sometime, but this it's a small world, and all credit to the Carters. They got no secrets. If they do, they hide them pretty well, but they're really transparent, and they'll come over, they'll talk to you, they'll put their arm around you and tell you how they're doing and how things are going. Always very positive and run a really solid program out there. So I'm excited because, like Jason said, how do you feel about heading over there? They're the number 2 seed. Their place is going to be rocking. It's going to be electric. You guys travel well. I mean, you got to imagine even seeing them on film and the talent that they have. I don't even know where to start, but you guys are no slouches either. So, when you look at your roster versus their roster, what are some things some commonalities and maybe some things that they might, maybe do a little better sometimes? You guys might do a little better sometimes. How would you compare?
I think that they do a really good job throwing the ball. They've got absolute athletes to be able to throw to, and they do a really good job with their secondary and coming and giving you lots of different looks. And where we actually are very similar, I say, is our offensive line, which is going to be a really good matchup, both on both sides of the ball. We both, I think, pride ourselves on having a great group of bigs up front, and so it's going to be fun to see those guys play.
When you see, and Jason again had asked you about the seeding, when you see kind of how things played out over the course of the season, that you had a couple of stumbling blocks that were teachable moments. Looking back on that now, do you feel like, and again, I tend to ask leading questions sometimes, but you can take the question and turn it however way you want and answer it however way you want. But do you see those 2 stumbles during the season as maybe teachable moments specifically, and what do you think you learned from those moments?
Yeah, so, I think that Pinnacle really taught us that, there's another level of physicality, and that was the really first time that we ever kind of got punched in the mouth. And, we needed to learn how to play big boy football, and I think that Pinnacle taught us to do that. And then, against Desert Mountain, we had Desert Mountain on the ropes beat, and we didn't know how to win that close game and win and turn back momentum. And I think that last night is a great example of us being able to weather the storm and continue to believe and keep playing and stay together and not get down and make the plays at the end to win a game. So I think that both of those were huge for us to get to where we're at right now.
Well, Coach Andy Litten, Horizon High School Husky football coach, thanks so much for allowing us access throughout the season. We'll look forward to circling back with you next week. Good luck this week. I know Marcus and Mark Carter, they're great guys. Again, they put together a good product and a team, and you're heading out there, and it should make for an amazing matchup. Good luck this week. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon.
You. Have a good one. Thank you.
Aaron, take it away.
Hi, I'm Terry Tortorella with Varsity Sports, and today I want to talk about the beaming success the NBA in-season tournament has been. And the idea was initially met with speculation, with a lot of American fans and NBA fans not knowing what to expect. In Europe, this is a much more common practice in European soccer and European basketball to have a tournament in the beginning or near the middle of the season. ESPN NBA analyst Richard Jefferson put it bluntly, stating during the first broadcast of the in-season tournament game, saying, "Welcome NBA fans to a concept the rest of the world already knows about." However, NBA fans were still skeptical and confused about what the in-season tournament would really mean. Those questions were answered through the first few games, as there's been electric play through all the teams. Adam Silver has also talked about the increase in viewership recently, saying there's about an 100% increase since early in the season for these in-season tournament games. The new courts, the new jerseys have brought a level of fan interest that isn't really known in the beginning of the season, but because of this in-season tournament, more eyeballs are on the product, something that makes Adam Silver and the rest of the league very happy. Group play of the tournament has been sensational, with 3 groups of 5 teams in each conference bowing out to go to Vegas. Groups were decided based on last year's seedings in the standings. To get to Vegas, you have to win your group or earn a wildcard spot. That is earned by winning percentage, head-to-head matchups, and also point differential, which has led to some funny interactions towards the end of the game. Most notably was Domas Sabonis telling his teammate Kevin Huard to shoot even though they're up 9 points at the end of the game to get those 3 extra points to help them in the standings. 8 teams in total is going to the Cox Pavilion Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, where they'll battle in 1 single elimination games that also count to the regular season. The tournament plays out in traditional single elimination style, with every game counting towards the regular season as well, except for the championship game on December 9th. Most teams are about halfway through the in-season tournament, but if the success of this tournament continues the rest of the way into the championship game, NBA fans can look forward to this to be an annual tradition for years to come. I've been Terry Tortorella of Varsity Sports, signing off.
I'm Stephen Buxton with Varsity Sports Show, and today we're talking about ASU hockey. The Sun Devils are off to an incredible start so far, and it might be all up to the mullet magic. So far this season, the Sun Devils are one of the best teams in the country at home, and they're 7-2-1 overall. Coming off a split series against number 2 Denver, they're now 4-0 in mullet when games go to overtime. The Sun Devils, ranked number 14 in the country, have enjoyed home cooking so far this year with a record of 7-1 overall at mullet. Coming off a tough loss on Saturday against Denver, head coach Greg Powers provided some perspective. He said that if you told him before the season that they would have 1 loss in regulation, split a series with Denver, and have one of the best records in the country at 7-2-1, he would have taken it any day of the week. To him, the loss stings, but they just need to get past it. Next up for ASU, they're still at home, facing it off against a familiar foe in Alaska Anchorage, with games on Friday and Sunday. That's all I've got for today. For Varsity Sports, I'm Stephen Buxton.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. My name is Zach Mott, and this week we'll dive into the return of Kyler Murray to the Arizona Cardinals and the spark it provided. The Cardinals entered Sunday's matchup with the Atlanta Falcons at 1-8, with an offense struggling to score and a defense that hadn't been as good as the beginning of the year. But on Sunday, all of that changed. Murray, who signed a 5-year, $230 million contract before last season, was as good of a spark as coach Jonathan Gannon could have asked for. He said, "He's got a skill set that he's hard to defend in pass situations like that." Speaking of passing, Murray threw for 249 yards, but did not throw a touchdown. Instead, he got back to normal Kyler Murray mode and ran one in instead, giving his team the lead going into halftime. The throwing numbers look sharp, and Murray got second-year tight end Trey McBride involved early and often. McBride finished with 8 catches for 131 yards, both career highs, and became the first Cardinals tight end to finish with over 100 receiving yards since 1989. It was the 3rd and 10 play with just 1 minute and 50 seconds to play and the Cardinals trailing that reminded fans why Kyler Murray was such a difference maker over the last 4 years. Murray escaped the pocket after pressure came up the middle, running to the right side and diving for a first down. The play sent State Farm Stadium into a frenzy and set the Cardinals up with a first down already in field goal range for kicker Matt Prater. Murray then tossed a one-on-one ball up for McBride to conclude his day with an epic catch and put the ball inside the 10. Prater then nailed the field goal, and Murray's epic return was solidified with a win. If not for anything else, Cardinals fans can look forward to the next 7 games of Kyler Murray and hope for a better year next year. At least exciting football is back in the Valley again. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Zach Mott.
Have you downloaded the KDUS 1060 app yet? Download today and get all of your favorite local and national shows right on your phone.
Hello, sports fans. This is Dick Stockton, and you are listening to Arizona's home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com.
The hottest show covering Arizona high school football, Varsity Live. Do you want to hear from players of the week and our own analysts covering all of varsity sports games? We bring you pre-game previews and post-game reports every single Friday night, wrapped up all in one show called Varsity Live. Tune in at Varsity Sports Show on YouTube, Fridays at 6:30 p.m. MST for pregame and 10 p.m. MST for postgame.
When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
I'll turn those picks into gold.
Wall-to-wall NFL coverage and the biggest stories coming to you from 3 to 5 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
It's the Juco Report on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show. News and notes from the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio, Jason Goldie out at Ability 360 in Phoenix, 5031 East Washington, right between 48th and 52nd Street on Washington. Actually, the entrance is off Madison, just a block or two south of Washington. But anyway, what an amazing place. Beautiful facility, the pool. That pool's got to be heated. I'm going to jump in there later, hopefully when those guys aren't looking. Anyway, I didn't even bring trunks, but I don't care. I'm going to go in anyway. So yes, we've got Coach Doug Madoski with the Juco Report, head coach of the Maricopa Mustangs. He's also been one of the key organizers of the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference, arguably the dean of junior college coaches in the country. Right here with us, Scottsdale Community College's winningest head coach in history. And we could say that because nobody else will beat him in that regard since they don't even play football anymore. But that's a lot of history and a lot of success, and he's done it. Coach Madoski, thanks for joining us on the Varsity Sports Show.
Vince, how you doing? It's good to be on.
Coach, first of all, I want to welcome you. I want to thank you for giving us access throughout the season, the last few years, allowing us to be a part of what you've been building the last few years and maintain this friendship. I think we're friends. I think we're still friends. But anyway, thanks so much for that, and really enjoyed working with you, with Stephen Weiss, and the rest of the league. It's been a lot of fun in maintaining this partnership with you.
No question. Obviously, thank you as well. I mean, you've been there from the very beginning. Certainly have stood by us through all of it when everybody said it wasn't going to happen. And you've been there and been a part of it. And obviously, we're excited to continue this relationship and build for the future.
Coach, it's been quite a season for you, and I'm joined by Jason Goldie here, who you had a chance to chat with post-game last week. Jason, you had a question for Coach Madoski. Go ahead.
So you're still undefeated, right? And
correct.
Yeah.
You got your final opponent of the year, Salt River Scorpions. What's the strategy coming into that game?
Man, I think the hard part for a 7 p.m. kickoff, I've had so many people ask me the difference between a 7 o'clock and a 1 o'clock kickoff. And for me, I think I just start overthinking everything. You play the game so many times in your mind as you're watching film and evaluating and tagging and doing the rest of that stuff with it, that I think for me, you just start to review it all again, and you replay it, and you start thinking a lot of crazy, what could happen, where you could go with things. And the strategy is supposed to do what we've been doing. I think all year long we've just really tried to maintain focus and do the things that we need to do to be successful. As far as the schemes that we run and everybody doing our jobs and our 111th when we're on the field and just executing our assignments. So the strategy for us is to do the exact same thing. Obviously, I think it's obviously a great opportunity for our guys, and I think they're excited for it. But at the same time, I also know that there's a hungry Scorpions team on the other end of this thing that would like, the problem with always having the target on your back is you're always going to get their best. So, obviously we're excited for the game, but nervous energy at this point, wait until 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that because, over the course of the season, you guys have alternated your kickoff times based on, scheduling and facilities and everything else and access. And your players, they might get used to a 1 o'clock kickoff, having a routine, get up in the morning, have breakfast, meetings, whatnot, and then boom, go, suit out, warm-ups, and you're playing a game at 1 or 11 a.m., and now all of a sudden they've got the rest of the day. I mean, what does that do to your mindset in getting ready and going into the last game tonight?
Yeah, I think the nice part about that is I've always had this thing where, I don't know, maybe it's just old, but I've always had this thing that college football is played on Saturday afternoons. So anytime we can play Saturday afternoon games, I've never had an issue with it. But I think that the other aspect of it, when you look at community college football, our job is to prepare these guys for the next level. And, if you're playing at a 4-year college, you don't know what time your kickoff's going to be. If it's a TV game somewhere on one of the networks that are having it. So you could, I look at the U of A, where my son goes, they play the 7 p.m. kickoff, and they're coming back to play 12:30 kickoff today. So I think the nice part is you learn how to adjust, and you learn how to kind of make sure your time management for where you need to be in terms of preparation and getting yourself ready to play, making sure that you're on task and on time with that. So I think there are advantages to it. There's many disadvantages, like you're talking about, with the getting up early to get your schedule set for an early game. Now all of a sudden you've got guys that what do they do on a Friday night where all the old high schools are in football games and in the playoffs, and now are they out hanging out all night long because they know they have a 7 p.m. kickoff versus having a 1 p.m. kickoff. And so I think there's pros and cons to it, but we just talked about maintaining our focus and doing the things that we need to do to prepare ourselves individually and as a team.
Coach, in our final minute, I wanted to ask you, and I know we need a lot more time in order to do this, but maybe give a real quick kind of a recap or overview of where the league stands today and where you're going.
I think it'd take a lot longer than a minute, then.
I know, we need more time.
Obviously we've got the 4 teams that are playing. We're excited about what the future looks like. I know we've already reached out to some of the NJCAA schools that we've historically played, and started to look into the possibility of doing some home-and-home contests throughout the course of the year, so that more than one of our teams would play them, and play them not just in New Mexico or Utah, but play them here in Arizona. Bring them out here so our guys don't always have to travel to go there, and to create a bigger schedule, I guess you could say, for our guys. Against some good competition, so I think we're excited about where that's at. Obviously, the possibility of adding teams in the future certainly is still there and present for us. We've got more coaches coming in to recruit our kids. We've got more kids that we're moving on. Academics are at an all-time high. So I think we're excited about where we're at, but we're also really excited for where we're going. I know that we're going to do a lot of things structurally within the league over this offseason that will start to drastically change the product on the field for both the players as well as the fans. So we're excited about what we're doing.
I love Coach Madoski's philosophy. He comes from the Pat Hill school of courage in that Pat Hill being the former head football coach at Fresno State. I used to live in Fresno, so I hear this all the time. He'd say, "We'll play anybody, anytime," and that's what you're doing. And you're scaring the heck out of some teams out there, particularly some of the California JUCOs that you've been trying to get on the schedule and everything else. And where the league is going is so exciting. You're building something, and you've been building something and providing opportunities to the young people on your team. So congratulations, Coach. We'll see you tonight. Looking forward to it. 7 p.m. out at Cortez High School. Maricopa Mustangs hosting the Salt River Scorpions, coached by head coach Larry Davis, another fine pillar of this community. Coach Madoski, thanks again for joining us. We'll see you tonight.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it. Have a great day.
All right. Wow. Jason, I got to tell you, you had a chance to chat with Coach Madoski. You had fun talking to him. He was a pretty good guy.
Yeah, he is an excellent interviewee.
He is. He really knows how to talk, and he'll tell you some stories and really talk about where things are. And he does it like he's talking to you and explaining things, breaking things down. This guy's a pretty good football coach, and he's a good person too, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So anyway, we have some more reporting. Dorian Zavala's got some L.A. Rams updates. We've got Lucas Metzner giving us a breakdown of ASU football and where they stand. Aaron, take it away.
The Los Angeles Rams are heading to Lumen Field in Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Coming out of their bye week, the Rams are looking to end their 3-game losing skid against a team that they already beat back in Week 1, 30-13. The Seahawks are a completely different team than the one the Rams faced back in Week 1. The Seahawks currently are tied for first place of the NFC West with San Francisco at 6-3. The Rams currently sit in third place at 3-6. The good news for the Rams is they get Matthew Stafford back in the starting lineup as he missed last week with a finger injury in his throwing hand and a right knee contusion. Heading into the bye week, the Rams feared that they would lose Stafford to an extended amount of time with the injury, but the good news last week came early as team officials said Stafford would only miss a game. The Los Angeles Rams look to continue to get Cooper Kupp back to his old self as he and Stafford use the bye week to work together on their timing during practice. Puka Nacua looks to continue his record-setting pace as he looks to have another game with at least 5 receptions and a touchdown to further extend his rookie record. It's an uphill battle for the Rams, but because of another loss, it would completely eliminate any hope of making the playoffs. For Varsity Sports, I'm Dorian Zavala.
Arizona State's first-year head coach Kenny Dillingham will host Oregon today for a 2 p.m. kickoff, where Dillingham is set to face off against his former staffmate, Oregon head coach Dan Lanning. I'm Lucas Metzner with the story. This matchup will be a huge test for the Sun Devils at home, facing the number 6 ranked team in all of America. But this is not the first time the Sun Devils have hosted a nationally ranked team in Tempe. Arizona State did not beat Colorado or USC, but the Sun Devils played them tough all the way to the clock hit zeros. However, Coach Dillingham didn't have a personal attachment to those 2 games. This time, Dillingham will face off against Lanning instead of being on the same sideline as him. Dillingham is also squaring off against one of the nation's best quarterbacks, Bo Nix, a quarterback that Dillingham helped develop. Dillingham has worked closely with Bo Nix as his offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. He worked with Nix at both Auburn for Nix's freshman season, and they reunited last season in Eugene. But now Dillingham is tasked with stopping the monster he helped create. After a 17-7 statement win at the Rose Bowl, Dillingham showed everyone watching his true creativity and innovation come to life against the UCLA Bruins. Dillingham schemed up the swinging gate formation, typically used on an extra point, into the regular game plan. It was a big reason the Sun Devils pulled off the upset. Today's game against Oregon should be intriguing to watch. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Lucas Metzner.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio, Jason Goldie out at Ability 360 in Phoenix. Jason, when we come back from the break, who do we have coming up?
We got Michael Smith, who is an amazing man that I met over the summer. I've interviewed him a lot over the past year.
All right. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to hear from Mike Smith from Ability 360 when we come back from the break. An hour number 2, Varsity Sports Show. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Go Varsity. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hey folks, J.R. Lambright here, special field correspondent for the Varsity Sports Show. Join me every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific for JR's Texas Tales, where I share stories of Texans who triumphed over adversity and gave back to their local communities. Tune in for a bit of gritty edification on KDUS AM 1060, Arizona.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hey, this is Sophie, and you're listening to my dad, Vince. Dad, you owe me $20 now.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio, Jason Goldie. Welcome to hour number 2. We are live out at Ability 360 in Phoenix, 50th Street and Washington, 5031 East Washington. Amazing place, big facility. They got a heated pool. They've got gyms, gymnasiums. They've got courts. They've got everything out here, and it is just an amazing place. We had Gus LaZear, the general manager of this facility, and broke everything down for us at the beginning of the show. We are awaiting Mike Smith to join us as well from Ability 360. Jason, quite a show so far. Have you enjoyed talking to some of the coaches that we've had on?
Yes, I have.
It's pretty incredible because these guys are flying high after big wins. And Aaron, do we have Mike Smith on the line with us? Okay, Jason, take it away.
Okay. This is Jason Goldie with the Varsity Sports Show here with Vince DeLisio. We're here at Ability 360 in Phoenix for the Duel in the Desert. Joining us on the phone is Ability 360 athlete Michael Smith, whom you all might recognize from the Varsity Sports Show segment last week about Viper Sports and the Phoenix Coyotes sled hockey team. Mike is actually in Tampa right now, competing with the Coyotes in a sled hockey tournament. Good morning, Mike. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great as well. Tell us a little about the tournament you're competing in.
We're in the national NHL hockey tournament they have every year to start the season off. So we've been doing pretty good. We just finished the tournament. We came in fourth. So we did well today.
Is this the first time the Coyotes sled hockey team has competed in this tournament?
No, they've competed a few years. This is my first year for me to be there. But, yeah, no, they've been around for a couple of years, at least 4 years.
How has the team been doing so far?
I mean, we did okay. We went 2-2, so we did fine this year. But we have some work to go because it's the first time they've played since COVID. So it's getting everything back up to speed. We're just trying to get back up to speed fast.
Are there any other tournaments the Coyotes are participating in after Tampa?
Yes, we go to New Mexico next month, and then we go to Colorado in January, and then there's a national tournament in February that all the teams in the country and in Canada will be at.
As you know, we are out here in Phoenix at Ability 360 enjoying the activities at the Duel in the Desert. I know you play a little wheelchair football with the Ability 360 Cardinals. What other sports do you play through Ability 360?
Well, I would be at the Duel in the Desert, but we had this game now, so I had to pick one or the other. And my coach from the Duel in the Desert told me to go ahead and go with the hockey team, so I went with the hockey team. So I play basketball also.
Can I break in here really quick? Mike, it's Vince here. I have a question regarding sled hockey. I'm a newbie in a lot of this stuff. I don't understand the rules. I don't know the dimensions of the court. Can you break that down for us for a guy that's that does a lot of couch surfing? You know, and I'm not a big sled hockey guy. Tell us about the sport.
I'll be in there in a second. It's just like normal hockey. We play on a regulation hockey ring, and we play in sleds. A lot of guys have amputations or have been paralyzed from the waist down, and they play. So it's the same rules as hockey. It's just that we're in sleds, and we move fast and hit hard.
Talk about that. We were talking to Gus earlier about some of the rugby matches, and he talks about these guys really run into each other and take each other down. He's more concerned about the court being damaged than anything. So is it like that in sled hockey? I mean, do you have to be concerned these guys are going to hurt each other?
Well, no. I mean, the sleds that we have are pretty solid, but guys do get hurt. We've had a couple guys get injured a little bit, but mainly the way we're protected is nice. I mean, they're hard collisions, but as you get better with sled hockey, there's not a lot of collisions because guys know how to move out the way and how to stop. So you'll get the normal, checking against the wall and bounce off of it and maybe come down, but you're up and going. It's just when you go home at the hotel and then your body is sore.
Yeah, you're a little sore after. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. And then Jason was asking you about some of the tournaments you guys play in. I mean, you travel the country with this sport.
Yes, like I said, we drive into Mexico next month. Then we go to Colorado in January, and I think then we have our tournament in March. And then we do the national championships where all 70 teams will be together.
We would love to call one of those for you and maybe live stream it for you. But Jason had some more questions for you. Go ahead, Jason.
That would be great.
Oh, yeah. Why do you think it's important for individuals with physical disabilities to get involved in sports?
Well, for me, seeing that I coach people that are para-athletes or people with physical disabilities, it gets them to do something else besides just, they think they can't do anything until they try. And I think that's something that's very important, is giving them a chance to get out and try a different sport instead of being, back in the days, of sitting at home and not doing nothing but looking out the window. So now we're getting them out because they do have skills. We're trying to make it inclusive and make them as normal as possible, though they have a disability.
You talked about coaching athletes. Tell us a little more about Viper Sports and the services you provide.
Well, Viper Sports is a multi-sports coaching program where we coach para-athletes, new athletes who have disabilities, but I also coach seniors and veterans and normal people. So I coach all, but we try and make them all inclusive. So sometimes they'll be together and they work out together. So able-bodied people see that, hey, this person can play, because sometimes, like in pickleball, I can put them together and they can play in tournaments together, or in tennis, same thing. So they learn that, people can do other things. So it gives them that exposure to real athletes and how hard real athletes push. So now they push them. The real athlete helps push the para-athlete a little bit more because they believe in them. They see that, hey, you can do this. Let's push you a little harder. You're just as important as I am.
Awesome. Mike Smith live from a sled hockey tournament in Tampa. We are nationwide. Mike, thanks so much for joining us on the Varsity Sports Show. We'll look forward to circling back with you down the road.
Okay, thank you. Hope to see you guys soon.
All right. Wow, Jason, that was big. Nice job on that interview and getting Mike to join us, particularly he sounded like he had a lot of activity going on behind him. You got him to take a break from the tournament and to join us. Those guys win a lot of games? Typically? Are they pretty? They're pretty competitive. I mean, and they're performing on a national stage. They're traveling all over the country. That's a real commitment for any athlete. So that is amazing. So nice job again in getting Mike. Looking forward to hearing from Tony Jackson a little bit later, who's also with Ability 360 in the program and talking a little bit about some of the things that he's participating in. So we're going to go to some ASU baseball updates, a special recruiting update for ASU baseball brought to us by our very own Shea Garrett. Aaron, take it away.
I'm Shea Garrett with the Varsity Sports Show. Arizona State University signed the most stellar player this past week. If you haven't heard of 10-year-old Thad Earl, get ready for him to flood your feed. Obviously, this is not the conventional letter of intent signing sports fans are used to seeing head coach Willie Bloomquist initiate, but Thad is a special addition to the Sun Devil team. Thad has neurofibromatosis, which is a multi-disorder involving tumor development affecting the brain, spinal cord, and nerves that transmit signals between the brain and spinal cord. At the presser on Monday, the media was introduced to Thad, who sat alongside his mom, Willie, and ASU pitcher Tyler Mayer. Thad signed his letter of intent and entertained the media with an anecdote of him spilling water on Mayer during a previous game. After the presser, Thad toured facilities alongside Willie Mayer and Jacob Tobias, who is another one of Thad's favorites. Thad was also posted on the official ASU baseball account with a graphic about his signing. It is safe to say that Thad touched the hearts of everyone in the presser and all of the fans who read his story, which was posted several times this week. With the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Shea Garrett.
Hey everyone, this is Aaron Nemiroff reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. With the World Series ending, it is now time for the offseason. However, this offseason is unlike any other because of one man, Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is easily the most desirable free agent in baseball history. The soon-to-be-named two-time MVP, who is both a top 10 pitcher and top 10 hitter when healthy, should be on all 30 teams' radar. The two-way star was on track to potentially sign a 10-plus year deal worth over $500 million this offseason before tearing his UCL and committing to the second Tommy John surgery of his career. After his last surgery, he was able to come back without any limitations after a long time away from pitching. A second surgery is not unheard of, but it's still something teams will be wary of. Ohtani will not be able to pitch this coming season, but his hitting contributions and the potential of him pitching in future seasons still sets him up for a historic payday. When Ohtani left Japan in 2017 and signed with the Angels, there were some evident factors about what made him sign there. He obviously intended on playing for a big market that was made clear by his agent. However, when the New York Yankees, arguably the biggest market in the sport, gave him an offer, he turned them down because he didn't want to play on the East Coast. That led him to offers from the two Los Angeles teams, the Angels and the Dodgers. Several sources believe the Dodgers were the favorites to sign him at the time because they were a consistent playoff team with World Series aspirations. However, there was no universal designated hitter, so had Ohtani signed with the Dodgers, he would not have been able to both pitch and hit. This led him to the Angels, a West Coast big market team, and the opportunity to play with perhaps the best player of the generation, Mike Trout. As for this offseason, the Dodgers seem to be the most likely landing spot. After disappointing in the past season's playoffs, the Dodgers still have a World Series contending roster, and Ohtani would be a perfect fit. The Angels are still in play if Ohtani doesn't want a change of scenery. The Giants could also be in contention as a West Coast big market team. The big market East Coast teams like the Yankees, Mets, and Red Sox should also be in the mix. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Aaron Nemiroff.
Good morning. This is Bobby Murphy here with the Varsity Sports Show, here to give a quick update on the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals currently sit at 2-8, but are coming off of a 25-23 nail-biting win over the Atlanta Falcons. In Kyler Murray's return, he led a game-winning drive in under 3 minutes that ended with the Matt Prater game-winning field goal, his 4th field goal of the game. While Murray didn't have the best overall game, going 19 of 32 for 249 yards and an interception, he was able to run for a touchdown and lead many drives that ended with points. This week, the Cardinals travel to Houston to face off against the 5-4 Texans. Houston has won 2 in a row, led by star rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud. The Texans boast a top 5 passing offense in the league and a middle-of-the-pack defense. With Murray back, the Cardinals' offense will look much improved. The end of the season is very important for Murray to show any more promise that he can be the quarterback of the future, or if Arizona will have to look at QB in the draft. With the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Bobby Murphy.
Check out the Doug Gottlieb Show, Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Bringing you the latest sports topics weekly right here on KDUS AM 1060 with me, the Doug Gottlieb Show, 1 to 3 p.m.
Welcome to the Wolves Recap with Desert Mountain football coach Conrad Hamilton.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio, Jason Goldie, live from Ability 360 in Phoenix. We'll be here for the rest of hour number 2 this morning. A lot of things going on out here. Is that yoga going on behind us? How do I get part of that? My gosh. You know what? I show up for these things, and I schedule them at the wrong time because I should be in that class right there. Yoga is very relaxing, Jason, don't you think? What do you think of goat yoga? Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard of goat yoga.
Where they crawl all over you? It's
Yeah.
kind of creepy. Can you imagine? Especially, they're not really like house trained and stuff, but can you imagine having that go on while you're trying to meditate? Anyway, okay, well, but I digress. All right, guys, see, we're a friendly show. We are joined on the line by Coach Conrad Hamilton, Desert Mountain Wolves head football coach. Coach Hamilton, welcome to the program, and I say this, I've welcomed you all season long, every week. You've been an incredible addition to our programming. You've been very transparent and breaking things down for us. And I know, obviously last night was a tough one. You went into hostile territory. You're no stranger to that, having been around, and your team having played through the kind of schedule and season that you did. And I wanted to thank you for joining us today.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Good morning. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Hey.
I was joining you guys this morning.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate that. And let's talk about that. So what I wanted to do today is obviously talk a little bit about last night's game, kind of get your assessment of the game. Obviously, the scoreboard's telling what they tell. Give us a little recap, a little recap of Centennial. They're pretty darn good. You guys are pretty darn good. And break down last night's game for us.
Well, I mean, number one, we were honored to play in the Open. I know everybody had mixed feelings about it. You know, we elevated our program to where it is today, and you know, we were very deserving to be able to play and compete. You know, with the top 8 teams in Arizona, and I think our kids went out there and they battled and competed their tails off. You know, Centennial's just a better team than us. You know, right there where they're at, they're a 6A team. You know, having to play a 5A team, we were the only 5A team that played in that 6A playoff bracket. But, you know, just looking at it, the game is 10-3 at halftime. You know, the game is 10-3 late in the third quarter. We had every opportunity to compete, not only compete in the game, but win the game. We just lost in field position there late in the third quarter on a 30 and I think 12 or so. We got a little mixed up on a pressure. It didn't really give the quarterback a little more time than he had all night. Santana mistimed his jump, and the kid caught the ball down the sidelines. Of course, we stopped him that series and made him punt, but we lost the field position. You know, we had them backed up. You know, our team, I don't know if we were going to drive 90 yards on that team, but if we would get the ball at the midfield 10-3, we could have punched it in and tied the game up heading into the fourth quarter. But they flipped the field. We basically 3'd it out and punted the ball on a short field, short point. Kid caught the ball at the 40-yard line to a Division I athlete, and he ran the ball in for a touchdown. And really after that, that was really the ball game. You know, the field position was the ball game because both teams played great on defense. You know, and that's just kind of how it ended. And near the end, we were on the field a lot defensively, and, you know, they're a bigger, stronger team. And, you know, aided by some penalties here and there that allowed them to score. But all in all, you know, we were proud of our team, our organization, our seniors, and they competed their tails off. You know, we just weren't good enough last night, and the better team did move on. But there was opportunities for us to win that game, and I think a lot of people had counted us out, you know, prior to going there, probably even Centennial. But, you know, we competed and we had a chance. We just didn't make the plays when they were there to be made.
Coach, my broadcast partner here, Jason Goldie, wanted to talk about a couple of kids specifically on your roster, as well as you get a chance to really spotlight others. But, Jason, go ahead.
So you got a lot of star athletes on your roster, obviously, but 2 of them stand out, Santana Wilson and Dylan Tapley. Santana just got an offer from Texas, and Dylan Tapley recently flipped from ASU to U of A. Can you talk to us about them?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're part of that senior class that we love and miss and are going to miss for sure. They'll always be a part of our organization, always be a big part of my life and my family and my heart, because I think the kids give everything they have, and they're good people, and they've grown so much since they've been in the program. But start off with Santana. You know, he's our, you know, most valuable player. He was the defensive player of the year in the section. He's improved mightily. He played some offense, explosive, has great pedigree, very coachable. And I think, you know, he's got tremendous upside in the future at whatever position. Right now he's a corner. He can run. He can do whatever. From that standpoint, he was challenged this year to guard the opponent's top receiver, and he did a phenomenal job doing that this year. We asked him to play some offense here and there for us, and he made explosive plays on offense for us as well. The kid's incredible. I love his family. I really love the relationship that him and his, you know, Pro Bowl, 14-year NFL veteran dad, you know, challenge him to be his best, whatever. I love that relationship, and you're going to see him continue to flourish and prosper, you know, when he goes to the University of Texas. I think that highly of the kid. Dylan, you know, he did flip, you know, the other day. You know, everybody's got to go to where they feel like they're most wanted and where they're going to have the opportunities to play at the collegiate level. So, you know, glad that he felt like that Arizona was the right spot for him. I hope and pray that everything works out over there. But he was our two-way guy. He was an all-state player basically both ways the last, 2 or 3 years. Long range, he catches everything when it's thrown in his area. Battling a lot of injuries this year, a little bit that maybe slowed down some of his numbers. But just a great player, very instinctual, very smart, and he's a football guy. And, what he was able to do for our program and just the progression that he's had as a human being over the last, 2 or 3 years. Early on, he was, a little selfish, a little entitled and all that. That's what goes when you're getting a lot of, attention as a young player. But Dylan is such a good human being. He was one of our best leaders, best captains on our roster. And willing to do anything and everything to sacrifice for the team. And, when you see that as a coach, you get proud. And so I wish the best for those guys. And we're forever indebted to their servitude to our program, and wish them the best.
Awesome. Coach Conrad Hamilton, Desert Mountain Football with the Wolves Report. Coach Hamilton, thank you so much. We look forward to continuing to work with you and your program and all the families out at Desert Mountain. Appreciate you. And wow, amazing. Done a heck of a job of building that program into something that is feared across the state, and you'll continue to do that. So, Coach, thanks again, and we look forward to circling back soon.
Appreciate you. Hey, going to enjoy this offseason. I need some sleep. All right, bud. Thank you.
All right, Coach. Conrad Hamilton, wow. To be the only 5A team in the Open, the only non-6A team to be in the Open speaks volumes. And Coach has really built something from what was essentially a laughingstock not even 5 years ago out at Desert Mountain to building it what it has become now. I wouldn't say a laughingstock, but a perennial contender now. And to be in the conversation year in and year out, congratulations. The powers that be that put their trust in this man, and this guy is a proven commodity and has built a proven model, and he'll continue to grow that program from the youth level on up into the high school level, surrounded by an amazing staff and families that offer that support. So anyway, that being said, we're going to turn it over to Lorenzo Lopez with a report on Phoenix Rising. Go ahead, Aaron.
Good morning, Lorenzo Lopez here on the Varsity Sports Show, and it is safe to say that Phoenix Rising are champions of the USL Championship. This result happened last Sunday with a score of 1-1, where Rising scored in the 90th minute to take this game to extra time, and ended up being a stalemate in extra time, and ended up winning in dramatic fashion in penalty kicks. Hopes seemed very slim for the Rising as they were down 1-0 and scored in the 90th minute to tie the game and take it to extra time. And in penalty kicks where they missed their first two and Charleston scored their first two, but then ended up dramatically scoring their next three and Charleston missing their next three to win the penalty shootout 3-2 and eventually becoming champions. This means this is Phoenix Rising's first USL Championship title in franchise history, so a very big feat for the club. Rising hosted their trophy celebration on Thursday night at Cityscape, and fans had an opportunity to take a picture with the trophy, receive autographs, and pre-order the away jersey with the USL final patch on it. It is fantastic to see that a major sports team bringing home a big major trophy here in the Valley. Congratulations to the Phoenix Rising. Lorenzo Lopez on the Varsity Sports Show.
You're listening to KDUS AM 1060 Arizona, another edition of the Varsity Sports Show here on Saturday, November 18th. Ryan Sykora back with you again this week in Tucson to talk some junior college soccer. Mid-November sees the Old Pueblo host the 2023 NJCAA Division II Men's Soccer National Championships. It's the fourth annual D2 tournament and the second held here in Arizona. It saw 12 teams arrive at the desert looking to leave with the same exact thing. A title. And last year, the competition presented us with plenty of drama and upsets as the 11 seed Prairie State became the first double-digit seeded winner ever. The defending champs returned in 2023 as the 8 seed, and the drama returned as well. The upsets didn't, though, as we exit pool play with each of the top 4 teams turning their heads towards the semifinals. Number 1 Northeast out of Norfolk, Nebraska, cleaned up in Pool A, beating Prairie State 1-0 to punch their ticket. In Pool B, it was local Phoenix College reaching the semifinals for a second straight season. coming from behind to score a golden goal penalty in extra time to stop the 7-seed St. Louis from advancing. CCBC Essex out of Baltimore County, Maryland, became the first team to reach the semifinals in all 4 seasons of the competition, with wins over 10-seed Heartland and the 6-seed Schoolcraft in Pool C. The Knights have never won a national title at this level. They've been twice runners-up. Finally, Pool D took center stage to end the group games, with Iowa Lakes giving the top 4 a clean sweep in their domination over hometown team Pima CC and Illinois-based Rock Valley. The Lakers moved down from Division I this year, setting up a semifinal with Northeast. It'll be the 3rd time the teams will meet this year, and ECC is 2-0. CCBC will play Phoenix in the other semi. Brian Aceves, the player of pool play with 4 goals in 2 games, could be the key difference maker if our local Phoenix College look to win it all. Saying goodbye from Tucson, Brian Sykora, KDUS AM 1060.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. We are out at Ability 360. Jason, heck of a show so far. When we come back from the break, it is time for the Saguaro SaberCat Report. Big win last night for Saguaro. Looking forward to having football coach Zach Hill on. I had a chance to call that game. That was my first game sitting in the big chair in a year. It was an amazing feeling. It was an amazing game. It was really tight. We're going to talk about that as well and have Coach Hill break it down for us. Thanks again for joining us on the Varsity Sports Show, guys. Stick around. We'll be right back. Go Varsity.
Hey Phoenix, Doug Gottlieb here. I'm bringing the best sports talk weekdays to you, 1 to 3 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat. Hey guys, Vince here. I'd like to introduce you to my friend Eric Perry. He owns Eco Roofing Solutions. They're local and a big supporter of high school sports all over Arizona. Yes, they're statewide.
A little bit about me and Eco Roofing Solutions and what we're about. I'm a 3rd-generation roofer here in Arizona, and I've been doing this for 25 years.
Call Eric and his team at Eco Roofing Solutions, 480-695-7736, and they'll give you a fast, free, no-nonsense estimate. Tell them Vince sent you.
This is Saguaro SaberCat football coach Zach Hill, and you're listening to the home of SaberCat football, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
KDUS AM 1060 is the home to the Dan Patrick Show, the Doug Gottlieb Show, and Sports Map Radio. Catch all the sports content here on AM 1060.
You're listening to the SaberCat Report with our dad, Coach Zach Hill, on the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Out at Ability 360 this morning. It is pouring rain outside. Jason, do you like to sing?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. I was going to say we should go sing in the rain. This is nice. This is great. Maybe I will, and you can watch. But anyway, we'll go out there and run around a little bit. Joining us on the line, a guy who's probably singing in the rain himself after a big win last night that was really tied up neck and neck. I wouldn't say tied up, but really close neck and neck through most of the game. Coach Zach Hill with the SaberCat Report, Saguaro SaberCats football coach. Coach Hill, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
Coach, congrats on the big win last night. I got to tell you, it was so refreshing being back in the big chair, calling the game last night. Had the credit to athletic director Matt Harris, who's a good friend of mine, basketball coach Lucas Ramirez, who serves as my personal security when I'm on site. He doesn't look like it, but he's a feisty little guy, and got up into the press box, got to call an amazing game. Tanner Tortorella and I called. Coach, talk to us a little bit about the game. I mean, it was close.
Yeah, no, it was. We made it a little closer than it needed to be at times with some of our discipline and some penalties and some crucial situations. We moved the ball really well offensively. I think we had about 550 yards of offense, but in the first half, just didn't finish some drives, and some things kind of happened to prevent us from scoring some more early. But I thought our guys, played well and did a good job for the most part. And obviously, anytime you can find a way to win in the playoffs and advance and earn another game, it's always a great time.
Coach, my partner here, Jason Goldie, had a question about a couple of specifics and players for your roster. Go ahead, Jason.
So, Coach Hill, it was a chess match throughout most of the game. Then Jacob Brown broke it open with a long run late in the game. What does a running back tandem like Jacob Brown and Jaden Matthews do for your offense?
It was huge last night. We had over 300 yards of rushing, which we hadn't in other games throughout this season. And so anytime you can put up those type of numbers, in a game, usually you're winning and dominating. And so having a guy like Jaden obviously had a big game, multiple touchdowns, hit a few long runs for us, and actually, finished the game off with a big, long run to kind of cap things off. But yeah, it was neck and neck. We're kind of going back and forth with Perry, and then Jacob Brown hits the one big one down there sideline, and that gave us a lot of momentum. It was fun seeing him, hit that thing and just, make the safety miss and go. He's got a ton of talent, and he's a big back. He's a tough guy to bring down. Showed some speed there too.
Well, let's talk about your quarterback situation. I think you're in pretty good hands now with the guy that's running the offense, especially literally running. Mason Bray came through in the clutch, looked downfield. There were some receivers that he wanted to go to, couldn't quite get to him, so he just tucked that ball away and ran with it. What does a guy like that mean to your team?
Yeah, Mason's been playing really well. The last couple games, he's been over 80% completion percentage, so he's been very, very efficient. And then he can escape and create and make some plays with his feet. We can use him on some QB draws and things at times, and some design quarterback runs. And he actually pulled one or two in that game as well on some zone read stuff. But he's been playing really well, and excited that we're cruising and gaining some momentum into these last few games, and obviously earned another week and see how our team improves through this week.
Coach, as you look ahead, you got to also look back in that you had a visit, not even 3-4 weeks ago from Sal Point Catholic, the very team that you face at their place next Friday night. What are some things maybe you learned from that loss? It was a narrow escape for them. They won 21-14 back on October 27th. What are some things that you learned specific that maybe will help and carry you through as you go visit their place on Friday night?
Well, we got to take care of the football. We had 4 turnovers in that game, and didn't finish a lot of our drives. I thought we moved the ball, well offensively. Our defense stepped up big time in that game, and held them to a couple, touchdowns and stuff. But they hit a few big plays on us in that game that were the factors. And so we just got to keep everything in front of us, on defense and tackle, and then offensively, I think we're in a good groove. So we got to stay in that groove and then take care of the football.
Coach, I want to go through and talk really briefly about teachable moments. We're all about teachable moments here on the Varsity Sports Show, and we do our best. I try to learn as much as I can when, sometimes when I put my foot in my own mouth. But, throughout the season, you open the season against an open team, ALA Queen Creek. You played another open team a couple weeks later. You played, what is arguably one of the top teams in California a couple of weeks after that, and then another open team after that, and then another open team or a 6A contender after that. I mean, you look at your schedule, top to bottom, five blemishes on your schedule, five losses on your schedule. But right now, you are positioning yourself to where you are literally 2 weeks from playing in a state championship game. If obviously, if you get by this opponent next week, which you're not looking ahead because that's not what you do. What are some of those two teachable moments in a minute that you could tell us?
Well, I just say handling adversity. We've had a lot of it this year, and the ups and downs, and managing expectations, and just being able to focus on the day and being able to get better. Our guys, I think, are in a good mindset right now from having to deal with a lot. That's experience, right? That's experience of going through that stuff and having the frustration and having some of the hard times, and then hopefully that helps you gel and gives you some motivation through the season. And now we're at this point when, hey, you lose one, you're done. So we got to take those moments and help it motivate us and use it to build that team chemistry so that we can play together as a football team through the remainder of the year.
Head football coach Zach Hill, Saguaro SaberCats. Coach, congratulations once again. Big win last night in the quarterfinals of the 6A playoffs over the Perry Pumas, facing another tough opponent, a rematch in Tucson Friday night, 7 p.m. at Sal Point Catholic. Big win last night. Sal Point did over Williamsfield, a very good Williamsfield team. Coach, good luck. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Top to bottom, what an amazing program, and what Coach Hill in his first year as a head coach at Saguaro was able to achieve. A lot of people counted him out, Jason, and they persevered, and now they are literally 2 weeks from playing for a state championship. But obviously, again, got to get past Sal Point in Tucson. That's going to be an incredible task ahead of them. So a lot of film study, a lot of practicing, and pulling out all the stops. So good luck to Coach Hill and his program. As we eagerly anticipate that matchup. Okay, we have got Connor Manning talking some 6A championship volleyball and Sandra Day O'Connor. Take it away, Aaron.
Congratulations to the 2023 AIA 6A Volleyball State Champions, the Sandra Day O'Connor Eagles. This is the first indoor state championship in history for Sandra Day. Sandra Day defeated the Perry Pumas 3-1 on November 10th at the Arizona Veterans Coliseum to capture the crown. The Eagles and Pumas split the first two sets. Then O'Connor finished off Perry by winning 25-17 and 25-16 for the win. The upperclasswomen shined all night for Sandra Day. Junior Devin Wiest and senior Ayana Loera finished with 18 and 12 kills respectively. Two other Eagles also finished the night with over 10 kills. On the serving side, senior Piper Rama contributed on the back end, serving 4 aces. The Eagles complete the season with an astounding 34-1 overall record, finishing on a 20-game winning streak. Following the only loss to Sunny Slope on September 15th, the Eagles went on to only lose 3 more sets total all year, flexing their muscles against everyone in the Valley. This includes a 3-0 record against Perry, whose Cinderella tournament run as the 7th seed comes to a close. The Pumas finished the season 23-11 overall. Sandra Day caps off the calendar year 2023 as the best overall volleyball program in Arizona, following their beach volleyball championship earlier in the spring. For Varsity Sports, I'm Connor Manning.
Hey there, it's Kobe from Varsity Sports. Get ready for an exhilarating Sunday showdown as the hot Houston Texans gear up to face off against the Arizona Cardinals. This Week 11 clash features a tale of two quarterbacks that's sure to keep football enthusiasts glued to their screens. Kyler Murray, the dynamic leader of the Cardinals, recently made a triumphant return from an ACL tear, securing a heart-stopping 25-23 victory over the Atlanta Falcons. Completing 19 of 32 passes for 249 yards, Murray not only showcased his arm strength, but also added a rushing score to his impressive comeback. However, an interception raised questions about the Cardinals' offensive consistency. On the Texans side, C.J. Stroud is making waves in his rookie season, throwing for 2,626 yards, 15 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. His impact extends beyond the stats with a penchant for game-winning drives, as demonstrated in the Texans' recent Week 10 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. Another thing to note, running back Devin Singletary's standout performance with 150 yards and a touchdown adds an extra layer to the Texans' offensive progress. As the Texans historically struggled as favorites, currently 0-6 in their last 6 games under this circumstance, there's a narrative shift under Stroud's leadership. With a 5-2 record against the spread in their last 7 games, the Texans are poised for a new era. Facing a Cardinals team with a 1-4 against the spread road record, the Texans have a chance to capitalize on the Cardinals' struggles away from home. Looking beyond the immediate matchup, both teams have experienced a reversal of fortunes. Preseason predictions had the Cardinals and Texans vying for top draft picks in the 2024 draft. Fast forward to Week 11, and the Texans are in playoff contention at 5-4, with the Cardinals, despite a challenging season, not out of the running. So, football fans, mark your calendars for a Sunday spectacle that goes beyond the field. From Varsity Sports, I'm Kobe Van Noy.
Catch the Doug Gottlieb Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and online at KDUS1060.com.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bennett Solomon, and I'm a senior journalism student at the University of Florida. I'm thrilled to be joining the Varsity Sports Show, and I'll be providing local sports coverage in Florida. You can find me on Twitter at B_Solly11, and I can't wait to get started.
The hottest show covering Arizona high school football, Varsity Live. Do you want to hear from players of the week and our own analysts covering all of varsity sports games? We bring you pre-game previews and post-game reports every single Friday night, wrapped up all in one show called Varsity Live. Tune in at Varsity Sports Show on YouTube, Fridays at 6:30 p.m. MST for pre-game and 10 p.m. MST for post-game.
The Varsity Sports Show is once again proud to partner with Grand Canyon University Club Sports in 2023 and 24. Join us in our coverage of GCU Club Sports on Saturday's Varsity Sports Show and the rest of the week. We'll cover hockey, soccer, baseball, rugby, lacrosse, and more. The Lopes are back on the Varsity Sports Show.
Interact with Bob Kemp's poll question on KDUS1060.com. That's KDUS1060.com. And while you're there, check out Bob Kemp's bottom line at KDUS1060.com.
Back to the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060. I am Jason Goldie, and I'm here with Tony Jackson, who is a power soccer player for the Ability 360 Phoenix Rising team. Thanks for coming by to chat with us, Tony.
Jason, thanks for having me this morning. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So, what exactly is power soccer?
So power soccer is the world's most popular sport for people who use power wheelchairs. It's 4-on-4 on a basketball court. It's divided into 2 20-minute halves. And I've been playing for 14 years. You didn't ask me that question, but I'll tell you anyway. I've been playing for 14 years now, and not only do I play, but I also coach here at Ability 360.
I hear you just got back from Australia. Tell us about that.
I did. I just got back from Australia, the land of kangaroos and koala bears and Vegemite. And it was awesome. I loved it. I was there for the Power Soccer World Cup that just happened. It was the top 10 teams from around the world. We all met in Sydney. I didn't play. I was actually part of the broadcast crew that weekend. And it was a lot of fun. I saw a bunch of friends from around the world that I haven't seen in a few years. I did play-by-play for some incredible matches, including the final. I actually made my Australian TV debut while I was down there. The final 2 matches were live streamed on one of the big Australian broadcasters websites, and so I did the 3rd place match and I did the final on Australian television, which was a lot of fun. I had never really done live TV before, so it was quite an experience. It was fun.
For someone interested in learning how to play power soccer, how would they go about doing that?
They should come to Ability 360 and talk to me. We practice Mondays and Fridays from 5 to 7 p.m., so if you're listening and you are or know somebody who uses a power wheelchair and just loves sports like I do, reach out to me, and we'll see what we can do, get you a part of the team.
What other wheelchair or adaptive sports do you play through Ability 360?
Power soccer, and more power soccer. About power soccer is, so for someone like me, I don't have use of my arms and hands or legs, and so sports like wheelchair basketball difficult for me to play, but because power soccer uses power wheelchairs, I can do that because I do that already every day. And so it's the sport that I play. It's the sport that I spent 14 years of my life working on, perfecting. I'll never be perfect, but perfecting. That's what I do. So.
What are some of the benefits you get from playing wheelchair sports?
For me, I love to travel. So traveling is, for me, a huge benefit. Like you mentioned earlier, I went to Australia earlier this year. I've been to Brazil. I've been to Argentina. I've been to France. I've been to Ireland, Denmark, and a bunch of other places too because of power soccer. Not only that, but I get to play a sport. Secondly, I grew up watching sports, loving sports, and never being able to play sports. And so being able to do that with power soccer is just something that I was missing throughout my childhood, and now as an adult I can do that.
As you said before, you are also a sports broadcaster yourself, and you went to ASU Cronkite School of Journalism, like I do now.
You did some research on me, didn't you?
Tell me a little more. Tell me a little more about your broadcasting and what you're doing now.
Goodness. By the way, Dr. Bill Silcock just retired, a legend over at the Cronkite School. So I started out. I actually graduated from college already before I went back to the Cronkite School. Not everybody knows that, and because people used to always say, "Wow, you got a really good voice. You ever think about doing radio, huh?" And so I finally listened to
I don't know. I got to break in. I don't know that that's necessarily a compliment because they tell us, that we have faces for radio.
Yeah, we have faces for radio. Exactly. You got a face for radio.
You're much better looking than me, but
I don't know about that.
I don't know if I think that as a compliment.
I don't know. I'll take it as a compliment because at least I sound good, right?
Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Wow.
So I went back to ASU because I decided to go get a broadcast journalism degree, and I wanted to do radio. And so, because I didn't want to do TV, I didn't want to be in front of the camera, and I always wanted to do radio. That was the whole intent. So I went to school. I was going to go for 2 years. 2 years ended up being 5 years because I loved being at the Blaze so much. Shout out to the Blaze, everybody, if you're listening. Hello, good morning. I loved that radio station so much, and it really kind of set me on this path to being a broadcaster. I found power soccer separately, but I was able to marry the two things together to be a power soccer broadcaster. It's been an incredible ride, and I have ASU to thank for that. Actually, Uncle Walt, as we like to call him. Is Wolter Cronkite still alive, by the way? Is he alive still?
No,
I don't know. I think he died. Didn't he die in 2017? I don't know. Anyway, shout out Wolter. Thank you.
This guy's a trip. Why didn't we meet him earlier?
I don't
This
know.
is good.
I like this. I mean, they told me to be here at 9:45.
Yeah. No, I mean like earlier in the semester, not earlier today.
I mean, I'm here now. So
yeah, there you go.
I'll be back. I mean, if you want me back, I'll be more than happy to come back. For sure.
You are going to do a lot of voiceover work for us. And the
Wow,
best
thank
part
you.
about it is we can't pay you.
Oh, well. That's okay. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. If you can pay me in I don't know, a hamburger, some ice cream every once in a while.
It's a little bit of a reach on our budget.
Okay.
We're not like the big guys down the dial.
I mean, all right. Well, get your friends at 98 KUPD, even though they moved, to help us out there.
I know. They're in our building.
Yeah,
they don't talk to us, though.
Well,
We're like the
I have friends over
redheaded
there. I have
step-
friends
You
over
do?
there. Yeah, I do.
Maybe you can get us in.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Wow. I like this guy.
Sorry, Jason. We took up all your time.
Yeah, no, we
talking
took
about
up all
this.
your time.
Sorry.
But you had another question.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if someone wanted to come down and watch a little power soccer at Ability 360 this weekend, when should they get here and what should they expect
Well,
to see?
you don't have a lot of time. Be here by 1 because our first game starts at 1. We have another game at 2:30 today. But if today doesn't work, January 12th through the 14th, 2024, which is just 2 months away. We also have a big tournament, 10 teams coming up from around the country, coming here all weekend long. Come check it out.
I want to take this time to thank Tony Jackson, who is a competitor here at Ability 360. He is a voiceover artist. Your business card, when you handed me your card, you weren't kidding, man. I said, God, you could do some voiceover work for us, and you said, turn the card over. And I don't know if you can capture this. It's Tony Jackson voiceover in big letters. We're going to keep you busy, my friend.
All right,
so
well,
anyway,
you got my number, you got my email now. So.
I do. That is incredible. So thanks for joining us, Jason. Great idea getting Tony involved here today. Tony, where can people where can people find you? It's right on your card here. But.
Well, they can find me at Ability 360 twice a week, Monday and Friday, but they can also find me at TonyJacksonVO.com.
All right, TonyJacksonVO.com, a voiceover artist, and looking forward to circling back with you. You'll hear from more of Tony as the weeks and months go on. So thanks again, Tony. Appreciate it. Jason, you want to wish our good friend here a farewell?
Thank you so much, Tony.
Thanks, Jason. I appreciate you having me on today. Thank you.
All right. We are going to turn it over to a special guest. He is out of the University of Florida Journalism School. He's been an intern with us all season long. His name is Bennett Solomon, and he's got a Florida high school report for us. Bennett, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Hey, Vince. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Bennett, talk to us. So you've had a chance to kind of go through, survey the landscape for us. You've talked to us a little bit about Florida Gator football, but you've also done some alternate reporting here and there on Florida high school recruiting. There's some national implications here. But talk to us a little bit about some of the championship winners and contenders this year. And specifically, you had mentioned Hawthorne, Lackland, which are big out in the state of Florida. Give us a kind of a recap.
Yeah, so, Florida high school football playoffs are in full swing. We're in the region we just finished the region semifinals last night. And, Hawthorne, the defending 1R state champions, they defeated Newberry to advance to the region final. In the 3M region, powerhouse St. Thomas Aquinas, they advanced last night with a dominating 40-0 win. And then the defending 3M champs will face Coconut Creek next week in what's going to be a heck of a game, Vince. And then in the 4S region, Lakeland, like you said, produces so much talent each and every year. They've cruised to the region finals. Last night they defeated Bartow 28-6. And they'll now match up with Lake Mineola on Friday. And then the Buchholz Bobcats, kind of the local team here in Gainesville, advanced with a 34-21 win over Ponte Vedra last night. They now will face Bartram Trail, who upset Niceville last night. And then I just want to say something on the 4S region, which is what Buchholz is in, and Lakeland as well. Mm-hmm. It's probably one of the most talented regions in the state. Buchholz has multiple Florida Gator commits, and the Bobcats are, they're trying to break through in that state championship. Last year, they fell to Venice in the heartbreaking loss by 7 points in the state semifinals, but they're determined to hoist that championship trophy under first-year head coach Chuck Bell this year.
Awesome. Bennett Solomon, University of Florida in Gainesville. Bennett, done a great job reporting all season long. Looking forward to hearing back next week. Thanks again for joining us, Bennett.
Thanks, Vince.
All right. Guys, I want to thank first of all, my co-host, Jason Goldie. Great job today, Jason. Want to thank our guests today, Brophy coach Jason Jewell, Saguaro coach Zach Hill, Desert Mountain coach Conrad Hamilton, Andy Litten from Horizon, from Ability 360, Gus LaZear, Mike Smith, and Tony Jackson. Folks, please be sure and check out all of our archive content on Twitter at Varsity Show, as well as Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Thanks to our producer, Aaron Decker. Join us back here next Saturday at 8 a.m. on the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060. We're going to be reporting from Arizona State University football press box. It's going to be dedicated to Rivalry Week. Thanks again for joining us, folks. And now it's time for JR's Texas Tales. Take it away, Aaron.
Travis was born during a time of significant change in the Lone Star State, growing up in a racially segregated culture that was slowly integrating. Travis played linebacker for West Rusk High School's football team in 1975, earning the nickname West Rusk Score Stopper. After graduation, he entered the oil field service industry. Over the years, Travis became a pillar of the Kilgore community, from boosting the Kilgore Youth Softball Association to boosting the high school football team. But it wasn't just about sports. Travis served as president of the Lions Club, donated door prizes, and still prepares barbecue for various fundraisers. In 2010, Travis Martin was named Kilgore Citizen of the Year, recognized for his civic involvement in sports, schools, and charitable organizations. Currently director for the Kilgore Chamber of Commerce, Travis was honored this year with the Community Builder Award from the Danville Masonic Lodge. This recognition is bestowed once each year upon non-Masons who embody the qualities of selflessness, brotherhood, charity, and community. Travis encapsulates this spirit, sharing his life philosophy. When I join something, it's to make a difference. I'm not a complainer or a backseat driver. If I'm coming, it's because I can help. Raised by two great parents, God knew my desires and placed me where I am today. It warms my heart to know God is with me, making a difference in someone's life.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone, in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Our Cox mobile plans are like a